Hi, I'm Tony from the Australian Window Association. Today, we're going to be installing an aluminium residential window into Brick Veneer Construction. Tools we need include a spirit level, a tape measure, hammer, chisel, staple gun, utility knife, drill, impact driver. There are a few things we'll need. Fixing screws, either stainless steel or galvanised. Packers, like the ones shown here, or you may prefer to use timber wedges, and we'll also need some flashing. There are a number of different types. Flashing and weatherproofing of the opening is probably the most important part of the installation process, and is particularly important in high wind and exposed locations. The sill flashing is fitted to the bottom of the window and extends on either side at least 150mm. The jamb flashing should be at least 150mm wide and attached to both sides of the window, starting 150mm above the window and continues down to overlap the sill flashing. Where the top of the window is not protected by the eaves, it will be necessary to fit a head flashing. The head flashing should be fixed to the wall frame or into the internal brickwork above the window and extend outward to cover the head of the window and overlap the jamb flashing on each side. This principle of overlap is important, as it should provide that at each transition, water is directed outward onto the element below, so that any water that penetrates the outer skin of the structure is directed out and away. Many window suppliers can pre-fit flashings, so remember to ask when ordering your windows if this is an option. This window came with the sill flashing already fitted. The first thing we need to do is to check the window opening to make sure the window is the right size. The opening should be about 20mm bigger in height and width than the overall size of the window, including the reveal. Using the level, check the opening is reasonably level and plumb. Next, we need to install the sarking. Feel for the opening from the outside. At the head, we cut the sarking off flush with the opening. Cut about 100mm in from the stud and cut the corners at 45 degrees. Now fold sill and jambs back in like this and staple in place. Pre-drill the window reveal for the fixing screws. Position the window roughly in the centre of the opening and level the sill using packers. Line the internal side of the reveal to project inwards to suit the wall lining, usually either plasterboard or fibre cement in wet areas. In most cases this will be 10mm, but check if thicker lining is being used, as this may affect where the window needs to sit. I'm using a piece of 12mm ply to allow for glue and setting materials. Fix the top corners in place. Check the jambs are plumb using your level and adjust the window position as necessary to make sure the window is level, plumb and square. This may take a few goes to get it right, but it's important, so take your time. Once you're happy the window is sitting right, fix off the rest of the window using screws or nails with a gauge and spacing appropriate for the wind load. As a final check, open and close the window a few times to make sure the window and the lock are operating correctly. Fit the jamb flashing to either side of the window, starting 150mm above and overlapping onto the sill flashing. The jamb flashing should be at least 150mm wide and sealed to the window. It is important to protect the window during bricklaying. The window frame and glass can be easily damaged by mortar deposits if not properly cared for. Any deposits should be washed immediately with fresh water. It is important when bricking up the jambs that the bricks are positioned closely to the window frame, but do not push on the frame to create a bow. Sill flashing should be laid into the brickwork up to 2 courses below the window. Make sure the sill flashing is smooth and does not sag into the cavity so that it would collect water. Sill bricks should be laid so that there is roughly a 10mm gap under the window to allow for settlement. The sill brick or course above the flashing will have a number of weep holes, usually every 4th brick, but no more than 1.2 metres spacing between them, to allow any water to escape. Head flashing should be fixed to the wall frame above the window and draped into the lintel. The top of the flashing goes behind the sarking, so we'll need to cut a slit about 150mm above the window that goes right across about 150mm past the window on each side. Again, mortar joints will be left open for weep holes at no more than 1.2 metres centres.
Well, that's it for this video. Check out the other videos in this series for information on installing other window types. Thanks for watching.